Welcome to Where Passion Meets Purpose. I'm your host, Jen Mentesana. On this show, we help busy moms and entrepreneurs find more passion and purpose in their daily lives through inspiring stories and interviews. Welcome back, everyone, to Where Passion Meets Purpose, and Happy New Year. I cannot believe we are already a week into the new year. I feel like the holidays, Christmas was just yesterday, and somehow we're already into almost the second week of January. But I wanted to come to you today on this show and just talk to you a little bit about a topic that's very popular this time of year, and that is goal setting. Maybe some of you have set some New Year's resolutions for yourself. I kind of went away from setting resolutions and more focused on it from the standpoint of setting a goal for myself for each year. Maybe you've thought about choosing a word that resonates with you for the year that you're going to stick to. Mine is definitely for 2025, the word thrive. I would love to thrive, and I want to see everyone thrive in 2025. I think that's also fun because it rhymes and it's easy to kind of talk about. But really about goal setting and how you're setting your goals and how you're holding yourself accountable. So that you make sure that you achieve those goals. And they're not just goals that you set and then 3 to 6 months down the road, they've kind of gone by the wayside and you've forgotten all about it because life gets in the way. I've talked about this so many times. If you've been to one of my workshops or even my retreat, you know that I am really passionate about setting goals, about writing them down and fleshing them out and really focusing on how you're going to make sure that you would not just set those goals and have all the intention, but achieve those goals and hold yourself accountable. So the first thing, I'm going to talk about 3 things today, just 3 simple things that you can do to help yourself stay on track to those goals that you set for yourself in 2025. The first thing, before even setting a goal, and if you've set this goal already, I hope you've thought this through. But why? Why do you want to achieve that goal? What is it for you that is so important that that goal is what you want? What is it going to give you in your life if you achieve that goal? So for me, I have a big goal this year to finish writing my book that I started, almost a year and a half ago. And I want to not only write the book, I want to finish the book and I want to get it published. And that is a goal that I'm setting for myself in 2025. Why do I want to achieve that? Why do I want to write a book? And I had to really think about, am I writing a book just because it's a thing to do? It's the popular thing to do. Am I trying to promote my business through my book? And I really had to think long and hard about why it's so important, because I have a ton of other goals, like I'm sure all of you do. But why is it so important? What is writing that book and completing it going to do for me? And I really got clear on what that was. And for me, it's about telling my story in a way that maybe helps someone else who might be going through the same thing or who has experienced the same thing and maybe will feel compelled to make a change in their life because they're resonating with whatever it is that I'm going to put in that book. So it was really about making a greater impact. And I had to really get clear on what that was. And the reason why you need to get clear on your purpose or your why for why you want to achieve that goal is because if it's not something that's really going to ultimately change your life in a positive way that's going to make this big impact for you, it's going to be harder to stick to that goal because you don't have a connection to your why. So I really like to start out in any workshop or talk that I'm doing to have people really think about the why behind the goal. And once you establish that, then you can start to imagine yourself achieving that goal. And then you vision your life, what it's like to actually have completed that goal and how it's going to change your life. And once you do that, you're already sitting in the energy of having accomplished that goal. So it's much more likely that it's going to happen because the things that we think about and the things that we obsess about are the things that become our lives, whether good or bad. So remember that. Be careful of what you're obsessing about because if it's not something positive, then it's probably going to send you down a road of negative results. So you want to make sure that everything that you're thinking about and that you're setting intentions about is positive and something that you truly want in life. So that's the very first thing that I do when I ask people to sit down and focus on writing out goals. The second thing, and this is super important, is that goal achievable? Okay. Is it something that I believe deep down that I can accomplish? And through a process of breaking down whether or not that's achievable, you can figure out if there's a way that you need to structure that goal so that it works for you. So for me, I literally had to think about, okay, is it possible for me to finish my book and get my manuscript done and submit it to a publisher and try to get it published within 1 year? And the answer is yes. If I stick to a plan and I break down little steps, actionable steps to achieving that goal, the answer is yes, I will achieve it. So for me, and I'm just using this book writing as an example because it's kind of the biggest goal I have set for myself for this next year. What I've done is I've set down a timeline of what I would like to be able to do and broken it down, not just in weekly breakdown, but daily. So I have in my calendar a non-negotiable 1 hour time frame for writing. That is a non-negotiable time for me. I will not allow, it's like what if you've ever worked with a personal trainer or even a coach, they will tell you your workouts are non-negotiable. You do not skip, because if you skip, then it becomes easier to skip the next time and the next time. And that's how you fall off track. Same thing with a goal. Same thing with anything else. You really need to set it in your calendar and make that time a non-negotiable time for you to take the daily actions that are helping you get to achieving that goal. Day by day, week by week, month by month. So it's super important that you break that down and put it in your calendar. Some people love to keep like a small written calendar or a notebook. Some people love to have everything in their phone. I'm kind of both. There's certain things that I put in a notebook, and those are kind of more lofty, big concept goals and ideas and things that I want to accomplish. And then the little things that I need to do that I put in my calendar that set reminders, those are like, okay, time to write your book, or you need to take 10 minutes out for gratitude, or you need to go on your 30-minute walk to get your body moving and refresh. When I'm working all day and sitting at a desk, sometimes it's 4 or 5 hours before I even look up and I realize it's time to take a walk and get my body moving because I'm starting to feel drained. So everything for me that has been successful is breaking it down into small increments. And then from there, you can start to see progress if you stick to these plans. And that's going to be my next thing. The most successful people in life build confidence in what they're doing because they stick to the goals that they set for themselves on a daily basis. So if you dismiss something and say, oh, I don't need to do that today, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'm not worried about it, I'm going to blow that off because it's not important. When you dismiss commitments that you make to yourself, then you lose confidence in your ability to achieve things. It's a natural subconscious process that happens. Now, if you choose to stick to these goals and every day for 1 week, then 2 weeks, then 3 weeks, I'm sitting down and I'm writing my book, over time, my confidence for achieving that goal to have it published by the end of the year grows. So I want you guys to really think about the commitments that you make to yourself and the fact that you can hold yourself accountable, but by just making daily actionable steps. It's very simple, but you have to break it down into smaller terms. And that goes down to my last piece of information, which is really important. And I think it's important. We all have lofty goals and we all have a lot of things we want to accomplish. I mean, I definitely want to get healthier this year. I definitely want to write my book. I have goals to speak on more stages. I'm launching a mastermind. I have a lot of goals, but I'm trying to break them down into small increments so it doesn't feel so big and overwhelming right out of the gate. Like when we set all these goals for ourselves, we can kind of get like overwhelmed, and then our likelihood of accomplishing even one or two of them is less. So try to start out with just one or two really big goals. And once you've gotten those, some momentum, and you've gone 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks into daily commitment to those big goals, then you can start adding more things into your life. This is what I did last year when I launched my business. I literally started with, I'm going to get on social media more. I was coaching, but I needed to get on social media more and build my brand and build my audience and my connect connections. And so that became my very first big goal for the first of the year last year. And then as I went on, I added, I'm going to do a workshop. Okay. And so 3 months in, after I built my social media brand and started really committing to that goal, then I went into adding the next goal. If you start out trying to say, I'm going to accomplish all these things, and you try to do them all in the first 6 weeks of the year, it's going to be really hard to stick to because it's a lot. So that's my biggest suggestion for you. I want you guys to be successful this year. I want you to feel like even if it's 2 or 3 things that you accomplished that were so amazing and proud of yourself at the end of 2025, I want you to be able to look back and say, I did it. And that's the most important thing about accomplishing those goals. It's not so much that you do all these amazing things and your life completely turns around in 1 year. And it can, absolutely, even just with accomplishing 2 goals. But truly, really be realistic with yourself about what's important, why you want to achieve those goals. Break them down into small increments and build some confidence in the success of achieving those goals, and you will see results. Okay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I think it's super important. I mean, we're only a week into January, but before you know, it's going to be the end of the month. And a lot of people will fall off and lose sight of the reasons why they wanted to achieve that goal in the first place. I know for a lot of people, and I did this last year, dry January is a big goal. And it's certainly something for those of us who feel the need that we've maybe had a little too much holiday cheer and want to cut back and do a dry January and not drink any alcohol in the month of January. Great. Awesome. I did it last year. It's an amazing feeling. But I want you to keep in mind that if you're setting this goal just for the sake of saying it, it's going to be a lot harder to accomplish. If you really hone in on why you want to achieve that goal, what it's going to do for you, how it's going to make you feel. You can envision your life at the end of the month, how you feel, the clarity, what you've been able to accomplish because you're waking up feeling less brain fog every day and you've been able to be much more productive. Start to think about all those things before you just dive into dry January. That's my suggestion, because a lot of times people get 1-2 weeks in and they're like, I have this party to go to and I have that friend to go out with, and forget it. It's fine. I did 2 weeks. I'm good. If you're going to set a goal for yourself, make sure you accomplish it, because then when you decide not to follow through with it, it breaks down your confidence in yourself and your ability to achieve the things you set out to achieve. And that's super important as we're leveling up our lives in 2025. Yes, I found another rhyme. Love it. So that's a suggestion for you. The other suggestion, and this is the last one I'll make, and then I'm going to tell you guys a quick story about a goal that I accomplished once upon a time that was amazing, and I still can't believe I did it. But I just wanted to hone in on the importance of, your values and how important it is for you to really know your why when you set a goal and then break it down. And I know you'll see success and you'll feel really good about the things. And I think that you will get further quicker if you do it this way. So that's my tidbit for you on goal setting. So the story I wanted to tell you was, I'm gonna take myself back here to, I want to say it was December 31st, 1999, the year 2000. I quit smoking. And it's hard for me to admit this now because I was 30 years old at the time. And that was, a huge accomplishment for me to quit smoking. And I set the goal for myself, literally sitting on my patio steps at midnight, had a puff of a cigarette and put it out, and something inside of me just clicked. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. It wasn't something that I had even thought about ahead of time. So all the stuff that I just talked about was not even on my radar. But the interesting thing was, deep down inside of me, I had wanted this for a long time, but I'd never said it out loud. I wanted to quit. I was kind of sick of smoking. I was sick of smelling like smoke. The person I was with at the time didn't smoke and kind of was like, it's gross. And you come to bed and you smell like smoke. And I knew it wasn't something I wanted to be part of my life, but I wasn't mentally prepared to say it out loud. And then something inside me clicked. I put out that cigarette literally on the step of the porch I was sitting on New Year's Eve. And I said, I'm done. That's it. I'm done. And I made that decision that night. And then I told everyone I knew I quit smoking. I didn't even care if it was 1 day in, 2 days in, a week in, 6 months in. I told everyone I knew, because you know why? I knew that if I put it out there and put it out in the universe that I had quit smoking and that I told everyone I knew, I would hold myself accountable. So that's another little trick. And I stuck to it. And I've had like maybe a puff or two without inhaling. My friends call me. Sometimes I joke around. This is years ago. Bill Clinton, I didn't inhale. If you remember that. I would take a puff just for fun when we were having a cocktail or two with some girlfriends, take a puff and not inhale and blow it out. And it was disgusting. And I go, oh, why did I do that? And then I felt gross and sick for the rest of the night. So I knew I'd made a good decision. But point being, smoking, I left it behind me when I was 30 years old. It's been over 20 years now. I don't miss it. I don't like the smell of it. And it was a decision that I made consciously, that I stuck to. And it wasn't even hard to quit. Once I made up my mind, it was so, it was as if I had accomplished a huge thing in even just making the decision to do it. And I'm not saying that cold turkey is the way to go for any of the vices that you have. Some people, if they're struggling with alcoholism or other addictions or other problems, I'm not saying it's easy. It's definitely not easy, but do the thing that you know deep down in your gut is telling you is the right thing to do. Because as I've said so many times before, your intuition is everything. It is the voice from God, the universe, your higher power, whatever it is that you believe, telling you what your path is. So tap into that. I say this over and over again. Tap into your intuition. It knows exactly what you need to do. And if your gut is, I need help and I want to quit drinking and I don't know how to do it on my own and I'm surrounded by a ton of people who are constantly drinking and I don't think I can do it, set yourself up for success by reaching out to someone that you think can help you. Find a friend, find a parent, find a sister, find a brother, find a aunt, someone who you know will support you on that journey and help you, because there are some things in life that you really, and there are many things in life that you really do need a partner in. And I would say quitting alcohol, if you're struggling with alcoholism, quitting, gambling. There's so many addictions out there and it's tough to do on your own. So I'm not saying that cold turkey is the answer for everybody, but what I am saying is if you feel that intuition, that gut telling you that this is something you really want to do, but you're afraid, just trust that and go find somebody that will give you the support that you need. And honestly, if you don't have that person, contact me and I'll help you, because I believe so deeply that our intuition and the messages that God is sending us come right through our gut and tell us exactly what path we are supposed to be on. So I think that's the most important thing. I've shared multiple tips here, but it's listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. It knows. And if you're super clouded by fear and anxiety and all these things that you can't connect with your intuition, there are many things that you can do to clear some of that and get yourself into a better place. I do it every day because there are days where I wake up and I'm not sure what path I'm supposed to be going down that day. And I'm not feeling it. And I have to get really quiet and clear so that I can listen to my intuition. You guys have heard me say it over and over again. Get out of bed every morning, pray, journal, take a gratitude walk, do at least one of those 3 things before you start your day. And then from there, if you're still not feeling good and you can't connect to your intuition, that's when I suggest really sitting down with a journal and just writing everything out, what you're feeling, what you're processing, how you're, the negative, the positive, everything, because eventually getting all that stuff out of your head and on paper helps you release it. And it's a super important process to getting more connected with your intuition. And as you've heard me say, and I will talk about this over and over again, there are many steps and ways to connect with your intuition to help you get on the right path. So I went a little deeper into goal setting, but I think that sharing that is super important to creating success in your life, and not just like checking the boxes, but really following what it is that your passion and your purpose is in this lifetime. I'm a big believer that 2025 is going to be an amazing year. I just feel it in the air. I feel it in my energy. I feel it in people that I connect with, strangers, everyone. I feel like there's a big sense of optimism for this new year. And I want you to take advantage of that. I want you to step into that energy of possibility and trusting that everything that you have gone through in the past year is setting you up for success in the years to come. The choice is yours. It truly is. What you have gone through has gotten you prepared for everything that you are going to accomplish in the next year and beyond. So any setback, any challenge, any success, all those experiences have given you the opportunity to take that learning and pull it forward into the new year and set yourself up for the next level of success in your life. And you can choose to do that, or you can choose to look back and say, well, that was a tough year. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. If you look at life that way, you're not looking forward. So I want you all to really think about that. What are the things that you are going to take from 2024 and carry into the new year with renewed energy and commitment and positivity and resilience, and just trust yourself that you can do what it is that you set out to do. And also, at the end of the day, if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, I haven't set goals for myself, okay, that's fine. But what do you want your life to look like? What are you going to do at the end of 2025 when you look back and say, this was a good year or this was a bad year? Sure, there's a lot of things we can't control in the universe. Life happens, shit happens, but we can also make choices that set us up for success. And I want you guys to really hone in on what it is that you want your life to look like, so that at the end of 2025, in 1 year, you guys are looking back and saying, wow, I had an amazing year. There was some hard times, there were some great times, but I learned a lot, and I feel like I'm so much more successful as a person than I was 1 year ago. That's my hope for all of you. So I am so grateful to all of you being here and listening today. I am, again, so excited for all that is to come in 2025. And I have some exciting announcements that I'll be sharing. And just stay connected. Follow me on all the socials and reach out to me, because I want to get to know every single one of you if I don't know you already. Happy New Year. God bless. Thank you again for listening to Where Passion Meets Purpose. If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe and download it so you don't miss an episode every single week. And if you think you have a friend who might benefit from listening, please share it with them as well. If you'd like to contact me, you can always reach me through email on my website at jenmentesana.com and my social media, Jen_Mentesana. And you can DM me there and I'll always respond, and we can connect about topics on the show or anything else you'd like to discuss. Thanks again for tuning in.